Holy shit, guys. Quite literally pulling out of parking spot at the movie theater right now. Am I supposed to go? Is this person gonna let me go? Cool beans. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it with your really bright headlights. That just like totally blinded me. Guys, I thought I was ready for this movie. I thought I was prepared. I had like so many scenarios in mind that I was like prepared for. I was not ready for that. Oh my God. I like have so many emotions, but I don't have any emotions because I just have too many. That like nothing is like standing out. I'm in shock. I don't even know. Holy shit. I can't even believe it. I don't even know where to start. It's 9 o'clock, by the way. Yes, it's dark. Ah, these people's lights behind me are so bright. I was prepared for people like Thor, Bruce Banner, Captain America, and Iron Man to die because they've been in their roles the longest, and I figured they would be the first to die because they had just brought in all these new characters. The third phase, they bring in Black Panther and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and Ant-Man and all these new characters, so I figured that all the old ones would die. Not one of them died. Everybody else was a new character who died, and I was totally prepared for none of that because I thought it was going to be like they killed T'Challa, they killed Scarlet Witch, they killed Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, which was so sad. Oh my God, Spider-Man, because he's only like a 15-year-old boy when he was hugging Tony Stark and he was like, oh my God, I don't want to go, and I'm like, oh my God, this poor little kid is dying. I wasn't prepared, and for the sheer quantity, like I was figuring maybe like 2 or 3. Loki dies within the first 5 minutes of the movie, and I was shocked. I was expecting him to be around, I don't know, for the movie and like assist or something, but he dies within the opening scene, which by the way was a fantastic scene. That opening scene was incredible. It was, Marvel knows how to start their movies so freaking well. What was I saying? People dying. I didn't expect there to be that many, and here's the situation. So they could barely get, had a fighting chance against Thanos when he had 1 stone and 2 stones, and now he has all of them. He has all of them, and they've just lost half their team. There's so many of them gone now, and they're expected to defeat Thanos. Like at the end, when everybody was starting to dissipate into like dust particles, kind of like Voldemort at the end of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, which is totally what it reminded me of. I was thinking, wouldn't it be ironic if Thanos also was one of the chosen to be like eradicated from the planet? Like, wouldn't that be funny? Like, what amazing karma. Obviously, since it's a part 2, like a 2-part movie, they weren't going to kill Thanos in this episode, but I seriously didn't think he was going to get all the stones. I was convinced that we still would not see the Soul Stone in this movie because I figured that if they had all 6 stones, what did we have working towards in the second movie? Like, he's gonna be unstoppable. He's unbeatable. How are they gonna kill this dude? He got all 6 stones, and I was totally prepared to not even see the Soul Stone in this movie. And then we do see the Soul Stone. It's being guarded by freaking Red Skull from the first Captain America movie. I always wondered when he got shot into space if he was like, would end up somewhere else in the cosmos, if we would see him again. And I was not expecting him to guard the freaking Soul Stone. And I have to say, I was a little disappointed to see where the Soul Stone, like how that whole plot line, because that's been, such a mystery in the series for 10 freaking years now, that I was a little disappointed with how that played out. Doctor Strange willingly gave the time stone, and I was like, why didn't we just trap Thanos in a time loop? Why aren't we rewinding time and taking these stupid things back? Thanos, the minute he gets the time stone, does exactly that and rewinds time and brings Vision back so he can steal the Mind Stone because Scarlet Witch destroyed it. And he's like, nope, I'm just gonna rewind time and I'm just gonna take it anyway. And like, I don't even know. Like, that's not good. This is not a good situation. Oh my God, Thor was a badass in this movie. I was a little concerned when, in the beginning, when he dies, and dies, and I'm like, they're gonna kill Thor already? Like, Loki and Thor in the same scene? What are you doing to me? But he gets this new wielding axe hammer thing from a dwarf that's actually a giant, which I thought was like the coolest oxymoron ever, because, you know, dwarf's supposed to be tiny and giant's supposed to be big, but he was a tiny giant. And that makes sense. He was a dwarf, but not. Anyway, Thor was like out of this world in this movie. He has come into his godly name in like the best freaking way. I mean, he is so powerful with his new axe and like how he was able to take on the power of the star. Oh, it was so cool. And then when he comes into Wakanda and he starts slashing people, it was so good. Oh my gosh. And he just like bangs the hammer into the ground, the axe into the ground, and everybody dies. What were those dog things, by the way? Those like ravenous dog things that the Black Order had. What were those? Where did they come from? They were malicious and like had no self-preservation. They would do whatever they needed to do to kill you. It was crazy. I can't believe that Bruce Banner was never able to turn back into the Hulk. Like, the Hulk was like, nope, I want no part of any of this. And he wouldn't come out. I thought that was like the funniest dialogue. The dialogue in this movie was so good. Like, the screenwriters for these scripts are incredible. They're so comedic and so funny. And I was laughing and I was stressed. I probably said, oh no, about, I don't know, 100 times. Everything, something happened, I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And there were quite a few instances where I thought, oh, we're going to beat Thanos to this stone. He's not going to get it. Like, I thought for a minute there he wasn't going to get the reality stone. And maybe the collector really did sell it off, but then he didn't actually sell it off. And it was just all like a warption or whatever of the reality stone. What do we even, I know we have to defeat Thanos. That's the whole premise of part 2. Oh my God, is it going to be called Avengers Assemble? Because they won't release the title of the 4th Avengers movie because it's a spoiler for this one. Is it Avengers Assemble? Because at the very end, which you gotta stay to the very, very end, we see Nick Fury and Maria Hill in New York at the same time. It coincides with what's happening in Wakanda. And then they both, first we see Maria Hill get turned into the dust and evaporate, and then we're like, oh my gosh, Nick Fury, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Then he pulls out this little like pager beeper thingy, and he sends out like a comm right before he also gets turned into dust, and a little like symbol comes up. It's like a star type thing, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's the symbol for Captain Marvel. He's the leading force of the Avengers after Captain Rogers, America, whatever you want to call him, dies. She takes on the Avengers leader mantle position, and I think at the end of Age of Ultron, or was it Civil War? I can't remember. Whenever they decided that they were all done and Captain Rogers decided to take control. I don't remember which movie that was. Winter Soldier, maybe? At the end, it alluded to Avengers Assemble. Is that what it's going to be called? I was surprised we didn't see Ant-Man in this movie. Like, I was expecting there to be Ant-Man, but we didn't get Ant-Man, and we didn't get the Wasp. Are we saving Ant-Man and the Wasp for Avengers 4? Just knocked you over. I'm so sorry, guys. I was taking a turn off the highway. Bet you we're going to see both of those in the 4th movie. That remains my question of, what the frick are we going to do about Thanos? How do you kill a guy who has the 6 most powerful entities in the universe and can harness them all? That sounds like a really big problem. I'm very worked up right now. I don't even have any theories. Like, the only theory that I could possibly like formulate in my head is that they somehow used the time stone to bring everybody back. Because so many of the people that they killed are supposed to have trilogies. Like, aren't we supposed to get more Doctor Strange movies and more Black Panther movies? Are those all going to take place like in a timeline before Infinity War happens, so we still get the trilogies without sacrificing like their deaths in this movie? Or are we all going to use the time stone? Well, we can't do that, because then it would rewind them defeating Thanos, like, since that will happen after. This is a problem this is a real bad situation. I don't even know. I still think that Nebula is gonna kill Thanos in some way. She assists in killing him in the comics, and I'm thinking she's gonna do that again. I thought Hulk was gonna be quite integral to that as well, but he got into a fight with Thanos in the first 5 minutes and basically got pummeled to shiznits. Oh my gosh, and we didn't even mention Heimdall died. Heimdall died. That happened really early on too, and I was convinced that he was the Soul Stone. And then that like weird girl from the Black Order had like orangish eyes, and I was like, oh my gosh, maybe she's the Soul Stone. But then she wasn't. It was just like on a planet. How did it get on the planet? So nobody in the history of ever has sacrificed a loved one or been willing to sacrifice a loved one to get the stone? I have a lot of questions now that I'm thinking about this. But yeah, I don't even know. Like, I'm so shooketh, which was really the only thing I wanted coming out of this movie. Is I told my coworker, because we were talking about it today, I'm like, I just want to be shook. That's all. I want to be shocked. I want to be surprised. I want my mind to be blown. And you know what? It was. So great job, Marvel, because you blew my mind. Also, one other thing I wanted to say real quick was that Doctor Strange has gotten so much better with his powers, and I was incredibly impressed the entire movie with how amazingly good he was and just how like vital he was to everything. And he like blew my mind just a little bit. Okay, that's all now. I'm gonna go. Also, one more thing that I just remembered that I wanted to mention is that Doctor Strange went into the future and saw 14 million plus versions of what was going to play out, and in only 1 out of 14 million the Avengers succeed. Whatever their plan was not working, and he gives the time stone to Thanos, and then shit hits the fan. But then as he's being dissolved into dust, he says to Tony, this was the only way. So is this part of the plan? Is everything going according to Doctor Strange's plan? What does this mean? Oh, I have so many questions. So now it's the next morning. Gosh, I look awful. It's 8:30 the next morning after seeing Avengers Infinity War. I'm currently working on a homework assignment, and I was just thinking about Infinity War because that's really all I could think about. And I just want to say that I had just watched a video about like every Marvel movie that was coming up in the next foreseeable future, and apparently Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is supposed to focus on Gamora. This is like confirmed by the director. So now I'm confused about Infinity War because Gamora is dead. I didn't even talk about that yesterday. I was thinking maybe that means that Volume 3 will take place before the events of Infinity War. Then I'm thinking, this is what I was thinking, I was supposed to see Adam until Volume 3, and we were told that Volume 3 comes out after Avengers 4. So I was thinking maybe if they chronologically put that movie before Infinity War, we would see Adam in the next Avengers and he would help to defeat Thanos, because that's like how it happens in the comics. But then I remembered that he wasn't supposed to like make his debut until Guardians 3, and so since Guardians 3 comes out after Avengers 4, he's not going to make his debut in Avengers 4. Disregard basically the last 2 minutes of what I just said. That makes me wonder, when is Volume 3 going to take place? Because it's supposed to be all about Adam if we follow the trailers, like the teasers from the last movie. But then it's supposed to follow Gamora, and she's dead, and Adam's not supposed to happen. I'm very, very curious now if we will see Adam. All right, I had another thought. I have a coworker who's like really into this Marvel thing too, and he was telling me that one of the main characters is supposed to be revealed to be like a Shuri, S-H-U-R-I, is that what they're called? I feel like that's the name of T'Challa's sister, and that's not what they're actually called. I feel like he was telling me that one of the main characters is supposed to be revealed to be like this really like powerful alien race disguised as one of our main characters. Like they're actually like some kind of like in disguised human like alien race thing, and I was waiting for that to happen in this movie too, and that didn't. So I don't know if he just lied to me, if this was a theory going around and it wasn't like a confirmed thing. I don't know if this is from the comics. I was also told by a viewer that Shuri, which I think is T'Challa's sister's name, is supposed to be a superhero too. Fictional superhero. I just Googled her. But does she alter ego Black Panther? What? Oh, Black Panther died. So now they're gonna need somebody to take up the mantle of Black Panther. Oh. Ooh. Necromancy. Oh, her ability. This is I'm like reading her Wikipedia page from the comics, Shuri in the comics, and she has anamorphism, genius level intellect, an expert martial artist, necromancy, super speed, stone skin, use of high-tech equipment and weapons including
vibranium uniform. Are these other things that Black Panther can do? Is he a necromancer, or is that just something that she can do as Black Panther? Now that they don't have a Black Panther, maybe she'll Skrulls. It's the Skrulls. Because I felt like someone told me one of the main characters is going to be a Skrull. A fictional race of extraterrestrial shapeshifters. They didn't seem like... Oh, shapeshifters. That would make sense if one of our main characters is incognito. Oh, and they're in a prolonged war with the Kree. And we see a lot of the Kree, like Ronan is a Kree fanatic. He's from Guardians 1. They talk about the Kree a lot in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because one of the main characters is like part Kree, if I remember that correctly. The Avengers become involved once the Super Skrull kidnaps Captain Marvel, and in turn they battle a Kree sentry robot. In that timeline. So I feel like what my coworker told me was correct. Zendreo is a high-ranking Skrull general who gave the dying Mar-Vell the highest honor in the Skrull military for being a worthy rival. And we're going to see Mar-Vell in Captain Marvel. He's played by Jude Law. Guys, I'm getting really excited here. I'm getting really excited. I don't remember what my initial point of this entire conversation was. Oh, I was looking into Shuri, and then I wanted to find Skrulls. Okay, so I feel like I've made like a come full circle, and I've made a point here. I'm so excited for Avengers 4. I want to know the title. I want to know the general plot. I want to know what's going to happen, because Thanos is just like chilling in the countryside. I was so peeved when we see the final shot of Thanos, and he is literally living out his fantasy. He's just sitting there watching the sunset on a balanced earth. I mean, is it really balanced? I mean, who's to say what is balanced? Like, who put you in charge of this? I thought that, like, the backstory of Thanos was really well done. Like, he's the most fleshed out villain Marvel has ever had. You really get to learn, like, why he thinks these things, and he has, like, motives and reasons, and, like, he's one of those really dangerous villains because he believes what he's doing is right. Kind of like Voldemort. Like, he has a point, he has a purpose, he believes in what he's doing. He's a dangerous dude. I think that is all I have for now. Again, I'll let you know if I think of something else, and it'll probably be another amazing shot of me like this. So enjoy it, guys. Bye. I don't know. Now I just made it blurry.